So why should you consider OpenDialog? The ability to orchestrate natural language processing and all the ways we used to do natural language processing, knowledge graph capability, large language model capabilities within a single application. Imagine OpenDialog as this harness on top of all this capability where you can bring in your business level contextual reasoning, easy to integrate with enterprise data, all through a no-code platform, and with a set of analytics capability, and this is something that we spend quite a bit of time on, that gives you a very, very rich set of data around what happens at each step, and a very clear audit path of what were the different decision steps in your conversation and why were those steps taken. So let me just talk a bit more specific information on the exact problems that we're solving when it comes to combining large language models and business needs. Right? So at top level, we have a business need such as accompanying and guiding the user that is pursuing a broad goal, like they're trying to do an insurance claim, for example. That's multiple steps, heavily regulated. And on the other hand, you have a large language model that's, first of all, unable to manage business context over multiple goals and steps, and it's unable to take the initiative, right? You cannot give it that clear goal and that clear sense of when that goal was achieved. So the way we solve this with OpenDialog is through the OpenDialog model of describing conversational applications that gives you this high-level contextual business harness, right? There's this catalyst that stands between your need and generative AI capabilities. And then the second problem I'll talk about is safety and explainability, right? Now, LLMs remain black boxes. There is lots of interesting work happening around trying to explain what exactly happens within the box. But with OpenDialog, we take a much more practical approach to solving the problem, which is how can we, while using this capability, how can we put appropriate gates and constraints around it, so even if the core capability is a black box, the way it expresses decisions and the way we use it to interact with our users is explainable. Right, and this is probably something that is worth seeing and experiencing in terms of how OpenDialog does it in order to understand the detail. But at a higher level, it essentially is based on reducing what the LLM does to very specific points in the conversation where it's absolutely requiring and putting that business level reasoning around it before anything gets to the user, right? So a lot of the risks of the LLM saying something unexpected are simply removed out of the way because the LLM never directly interacts with the user. The interaction is always mediated through the OpenDialog model. So if you imagine the flow of user input and application output within OpenDialog, it uses large language models throughout, but it's always mediated by the OpenDialog model in the middle.